Do you ever find yourself having a hard time saving money? Or maybe you're always asking yourself, where did my money go? If this rings a bell, then it's probably a good idea to start budgeting. In this video, you will understand the ins and outs of budgeting from a step-by-step approach to helpful tools to make budgeting a breeze. So let's dive right into it. Hey everyone, this is Abhishek here and welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful videos, hit the like button and share it with someone who can benefit from it. Let's get started. But hold on, before you start thinking that budgeting is all about restrictions and limitations, let's debunk that myth together. Budgeting is not about restricting yourself, it's about empowering yourself with financial control and freedom. It's like having a roadmap that guides you towards your financial goals. Let's break down the concept of budgeting and look at some practical examples to understand its importance and its benefits. First and foremost, what exactly is a budget? Basically, a budget is like a financial roadmap. It helps you manage how much money comes in and where exactly it goes over a period like a month. Think of it as a smart plan to handle your cash flow for your short-term needs and for your long-term goals. Now you may ask, how does this budget thing actually works? When you create a budget, you're actually crunching numbers based on what you earn and what you spend. This includes things like rent, utility bills, groceries, debt payments, entertainment, transportation, and everything in between. It's all about getting a clear picture of your money flow, figuring out what's essential, where you can tighten up, and how to reach your financial goals. Another question people have is, why even bother making a budget? Well, let me tell you, creating a budget has multiple benefits. It can help you keep your spending in check and help you progress towards your financial goals like getting out of debt or buying a house or even buying a car. Plus, it gives you a sanity check on what you can afford to spend on things like rent, mortgage, or car payments. This will ensure that you avoid taking on too much debt and causing yourself financial stress. Even if you don't have a specific financial goal at the moment, it's always a good idea to have a budget so that you know exactly where your money is going. Now you may ask, hey Abhishek, will a budget actually help me save money? And the answer is absolutely. Budgets are a crucial part of learning to boost your savings. By getting a grip on your money, you can make smarter choices and prioritize your spending. Maybe you'll spot some sneaky expenses that you can trim down, or perhaps you'll find some extra room to stash away into your retirement or your emergency fund, or even your next big vacation. Trust me, a budget can work wonders for your wallet. Now let's look at how you can create a budget for yourself in just 5 steps. First things first, you need to find out how much money is coming in and where exactly it's going. This is the amount that you take home every month after all the taxes and costs like the EI and CPP. Now make a list of all the sources of income like your salary, your side gigs, or any other money that you receive regularly. Then jot down all your expenses including your rent or a mortgage, car payments, utility bills, groceries, entertainment, shopping, and any other spending that you do. Now, make sure to account for each and everything when it comes to your expenses in order to get a realistic picture of your finances. The next step is differentiate between your needs and wants. Once you have your list of expenses, categorize them into needs and wants. Needs are things like your rent or mortgage payments, your groceries, your utility bills, your transportation costs that are fixed and recur every month. Wants are nice to have things that fluctuate, something like eating out, going to the movies, buying new clothes, etc. etc. Now that you know how much money is coming in and where it's going, it's time to set your financial goals. Now think about your short-term and long-term financial goals. Do you want to save for a vacation or buy a car or pay off your debt or buy a new house or build an emergency fund? Setting clear goals gives you something to work towards and prioritize your spending. Now the next step is to actually create a budget plan. Firstly, add up all your fixed and variable expenses and compare it with your income. If the expenses are higher than your income, then you need to adjust your spending as soon as possible in order to avoid getting into debt. But if your income is higher than your expenses, then that's probably a good start. If you find yourself struggling to create a budget, or if your expenses are higher than your income, then introspect a bit and ask yourself these questions. Is the money that's left over after paying all your expenses enough to reach your financial goals? Are your spending habits out of control and can you change them in order to meet your financial goals sooner? Are there any sneaky expenses that can be completely cut off in order to help you make some room to save more? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, then it's probably a good idea to dive deep into your expenses and see if anything can be trimmed down. If the answer is no, then it probably means you might want to consider different ways you can increase your income, either by asking your current employer to give you a pay bump, or even upskilling yourself and applying for a better paying job, or even doing side hustles. Based on your income, expenses, and your financial goals, create a budget plan. Allocate a certain amount of money to each of your expense category, making sure to cover your needs first, followed by allocating what's left to your wants and your savings goal. Tools like budgeting apps or spreadsheets can be super helpful here. The last step is to stick to your budget. The key to successful budgeting is consistency. Make it a habit to review your budget regularly, track your spending, and adjust as needed. Stay disciplined, but also be flexible when certain unexpected expenses pop up. Now let's explore different budgeting methods that suit various financial preferences and situations. The very first method is the 50-30-20 budget. This approach provides a balanced allocation of your income towards needs, your wants, and your savings or debt. Now let's say, for instance, you make $4,000 every month after all the taxes and deductions. So according to this rule, you would allocate 50% of your income to your needs, that comes to around $2,000, and 30% to your wants, that comes to $1,200, and the remaining 20% to your savings or debt, which comes to $800. Now these percentages might not fit your situation perfectly. For instance, you may find that you can save even more than 20%, and if you can, then that's fantastic. On the flip side, your essential expenses might be higher, and maybe you can only manage to save 10%, and that's perfectly all right. It's still a step in the right direction. It's better than not saving at all. The important thing is just to kickstart your savings journey by setting aside a portion of your income every month and increasing whenever possible as you go. The next method is called zero-based budgeting. This method involves assigning each and every dollar of your income to specific expenses or financial goals, leaving no money accounted for. With zero-based budgeting, you will assign every dollar of that $4,000 to a specific purpose in order to ensure that you use your money wisely. First, you'll create spending categories like utility bills, your rent or mortgage, groceries, transportations, and any other expenses that you have. Let's say your monthly expenses look like this. Your rent is 30% of your income, which is $1,200. Then your utilities are, let's say, 10% of your income, which comes to $400. Your groceries are 10% of your income, which comes to $400. Your transportation is 5% of your income, which is $200. Your entertainment is again 5% of your income, which comes to $200. You are setting 20% of your income for your savings, which comes to $800. And your miscellaneous expenses comes to the remaining 20%, which is again $800. By assigning percentages, you ensure that every dollar has a specific purpose within that category. This method helps you avoid overspending in a particular category and helps you understand where your money is going. Now let's say it's holiday season and you want to add a new category called holiday gifting. You can adjust your budget by reallocating some funds from other categories in order to accommodate this new expense without going over your total income. While zero-based budgeting requires more time and effort as compared to other simpler budgeting methods, this method is an excellent choice for people that have multiple saving goals because it keeps you aware of where your money exactly is going. Plus, you can always tweak the categories based on your evolving needs and priorities. The next method is pay yourself first. This strategy prioritizes your saving by setting aside a portion of your income to your savings goal even before considering any other expenses. So instead of waiting until the end of the month to see how much you can save, you set aside a fixed amount or a percentage of your income right off the bat. With this method, you will set aside a portion of your income into your savings or your investment account. For example, let's say if you decide to put aside 20% of your income, which comes to $800, then you would put that amount into your investment or savings account, even before thinking about paying other bills or buying groceries. It's like treating your savings as a priority bill that needs to be paid first, similar to your rent and utilities. This way, you ensure that you are consistently saving and working towards your financial goals, even if there are unexpected expenses that come up later in the month. The next method is the envelope system. This method involves using physical envelopes, allocating cash to different spending categories in order to help you stay within the budget and avoid overspending. Imagine you have 3 envelopes, one for groceries, one for entertainment, and one for dining out. At the beginning of each month, you put a specific amount in each of these envelopes. Let's say you put $400 for groceries, $200 for eating out, and $200 for entertainment. Now, whenever you want to spend money on groceries, you take out the money from this grocery envelope. Whenever you want to grab a meal from a restaurant, you take out the money from dining out envelope. And if you're planning a fun night like going to the movies, you dip into your entertainment envelope. The cool thing about this system is it helps you track how much you are spending in each of the categories, and also on top of that, avoid overspending. Once the money in an envelope is gone, that's it. No borrowing from other envelopes. So if you are someone who struggles to stick to a budget, then the envelope system might be worth giving a shot. The next method is the values-based budgeting. This approach aligns your spending to your values and priorities, ensuring that your money reflects what matters to you. Imagine you are someone who values travel and new experience. With value-based budgeting, you would put a good chunk of your money towards saving up for new adventures and vacations. Maybe you'll cut back on other stuff that's not as important to you, like eating out less or spending less on clothes, so you can afford those epic trips that you have been dreaming about. It's all about your priorities and what matters to you the most, and making sure that your money works towards your values and goals. Cool, right? So there you have it, folks. Give these 5 budgeting methods a try and see which one fits your situation better and helps you align with your financial goals. Thanks for watching, and if you found this video helpful, don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more insightful content like this. Hit the like button and share it with someone who can benefit from it. Until then, see you in the next one. Peace.
Here we go.